What exactly makes a good marriage? It's a question you may find yourself asking from time to time. As the routine of your relationship brings about stresses you can only experience really after years of being together, you may be looking to restore the passion in your matrimony. And I'm talking about more than just great sex here. I'm talking about the emotional connection that makes you and your spouse excited to wake up to each other every single day. I mean, after all, wouldn't it be great if you could infuse your relationship with that same kind of excitement you and your spouse felt when you initially started dating? Here's a quick exercise to start a more fulfilling married life. I want you to get a piece of paper and write marriage in the center of the paper and draw lines from it and brainstorm what you feel makes a good marriage. And this type of brainstorming illustration, it's called a spider diagram. And the ideas that you write down on each leg of the diagram represents action points or areas that you can focus on improving in your own life. So what do you see in the marriages of friends and family, and what have you seen in films or television that maybe you envy or you want to emulate? Now, on a separate piece of paper, do the same task, but with the words marriage enrichment. What would enliven this marriage? And these are actually activities that you can engage in based on the action points you wrote down earlier. Try to step out of yourself and imagine you are writing this to help a friend. And this might include writing anything from going on a weekend vacation or having a chance to be together as a couple each week for a dinner date or a game night. You know, getting back to basics is so important. Your relationship, it was based on a mutual attraction and friendship. And underneath all the stress and strain of this, there's still that foundation of your marriage. And it's possible for you to work back through the rubble to the marriage you once had or the marriage you want to have. Accept that you have issues. Accept that you both have relationship issues and try to see your spouse through the eyes of your younger self. And ask yourself, what did you love so much about your spouse when you first started dating? Acceptance is a big part of this too. Your partner will not be turned on all the time, and love can't get you through everything. And it's easy to be disappointed when the excitement isn't constant. That said, acknowledging your relationship has matured is a form of acceptance that it's important to have. Understand that you haven't failed, your relationship hasn't failed. Your relationship is a journey, and it's going to have its ups and downs, much like the waves of the ocean. Nurturing each other is incredibly important. Weeks and months fly by, and the day-to-day schedule can be grinding, or even, it can be grinding on even the strongest relationship. When you think about your week, maybe the term organized chaos comes to mind. On a piece of paper, write down each day of the week and leave a large gap between each day so you have plenty of space. And next to each day, write down the routine for the day, including, taking out the trash or driving your child to kindergarten or whatever happens in your day. Write it down. And make a note of what time approximately you have dinner, you put the children to bed, and you sit down for the evening. What are your favorite shows to watch, or do you have a sort of a backlog of DVR or TiVo or whatever recording device you use? Squeezing in time to cherish your partner and yourself, it's important. So now, using a different color, pen or pencil or whatever, if you can add in times in any of the days where you can promise to do something small for your partner, and I mean small gestures, taking the conscious effort to give them a hug, or ask them how they are, and give them your undivided attention. Every little moment is going to help with your marriage enrichment. It's important to take time for each other. Camping in the backyard, taking a day off work when the children are at school, having candles with your evening meal, swapping sides of the bed just to kind of change things up, going on a date. They're all simple ways to change things up. Make sure you have that hug that you used to have before leaving for work, or that kiss before leaving for work. And think back to anything either of you have let slip. When was the last time you left a note in the cupboard, for your partner that says, "I love you"? Now's your chance to do that. Focusing on the positives will make them outweigh the negatives. Marriage enrichment doesn't mean booking a Caribbean cruise. That would be nice, but it could mean appreciating your partner's perspective, their opinion, their favorite color, baking them a cake, or buying that piece of, jewelry or lingerie or whatever, that they want. Change is natural. Children arrive, you go through different jobs in your life, different careers, and we age. Change happens. It's a natural part of life. And you sort of just have to accept this. It might be that you or your partner have put on weight over the years. Maybe you have some gray hairs. Moving through these changes and accepting them within your relationship, it's important. Accept change as a partnership. And it's the two of you against the world, really. And each of you needs nurturing. So your model looks, they might be fading. Maybe you don't have the dream job you always planned on. However, you're still experiencing this journey together. And it's important to realize that this change in your life, in your emotions, it's all natural. But the world is still your oyster, and there's so much left to experience together. Be kind, do little things for each other, and appreciate your partner and show them how you still feel about them underneath any negativity you may have been harboring lately. Make the positives outweigh the negatives. Many couples argue, feeling criticized, it's draining, and it's ultimately going to pull your marriage apart if it isn't rebalanced with positives. A friendship is the foundation of any couple, and for reminding each other of this value, that's important. You can do things to help your partner unlock their sensitive side by adding in some small gestures of romance and friendship in your day. You're going to feel less overwhelmed when your partner has a problem that they want to talk about. Even something as simple as smiling can help a lot. Do you find yourself unable to take the grin off your face when you see your partner, or you think of your partner all that time ago? You were so excited to be in their company, and you just felt glowing with happiness. Smiling, it creates its own happiness. Practice smiling. Look in the mirror and smile. I know you're going to feel silly doing it, but smile at yourself to remind yourself of how brilliant, nurturing, and loving you are. And now, go smile at your spouse. If they ask why, just say, because I feel really happy to be with you right now. And see what the reaction is. Listen, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I want you to sign up for my free video on how to restore your marriage and rekindle that sex-filled, passionate romance that you once had, really starting in minutes. It doesn't matter what situation you're in. Check out the free video at mindyourmarriage.com, and I'll see you there. Take care. Bye.